Hello, hello. Body breathe awareness. Regulate self with compassionate care. This is workshop 10 and also step 3 of heart-centered steps. Allow all that is for me. I am Amelia Zontini and your compassionate captain. Let me kick off tonight with a story, an interview from December 19th, 2025. After spending 178 days aboard the International Space Station, astronaut Ron Garan returned to Earth carrying something far heavier than space equipment or mission data. He returned with a transformed understanding of humanity itself. From orbit, Earth doesn't look like a collection of countries, borders, or competing interests. It appears as a single radiant blue sphere suspended in darkness. No lines divide continents. No flags mark territory. From 250 miles above the surface, every human conflict suddenly looks small, and every human connection looks unavoidable. Garand described watching lightning storms crackle across entire continents. Auroras ripple like living curtains over the poles, and city lights glow softly against the planet's night sky. What struck him most wasn't Earth's power, it was its fragility. Fragility. The atmosphere protecting all life appeared as a paper-thin blue halo, barely visible yet responsible for everything that breathes, grows, and survives. That view triggered what astronauts call the overview effect, a profound cognitive shift reported by many who see Earth from space. It's the sudden realization that humanity shares a single closed system, no backups, no escape route, no second home. Garand began questioning humanity's priorities. On Earth, economic growth is often treated as the ultimate goal. From space, that hierarchy collapses. He argues that the correct order should be planet first, society second, economy last. Because without a healthy planet, neither society nor economy can exist. He often compares Earth to a spacecraft, a ship carrying billions of crew members, all dependent on the same life support systems, and yet many behave as passengers rather than caretakers, assuming someone else is responsible for keeping things running. From orbit, pollution has no nationality. Climate systems ignore borders. Environmental damage in one region ripples across the entire globe. The divisions we defend so fiercely on the ground simply don't exist from above. Garand's message isn't abstract or idealistic, it's practical. If humanity continues to treat Earth as an unlimited resource rather than a shared system, the consequences will be universal. Seeing Earth from space didn't make him feel small, it made him feel accountable. Because when you truly understand that we're all riding the same fragile spacecraft through the universe, the idea of us versus them quietly disappears, replaced by a single unavoidable truth. There is only us. Deep breath. You're the best. Nice breath. Place hand over your heart. Gently give it a tap, 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 tap. Breathe in and relax it out. You are love. Here you are, love. Love you are. Are you love? Good evening. You know me by now. Or get to know me. This is workshop 10. I've been around almost a whole year. It's exciting to see that I'm making a connection with some of you. Thank you for your consistency in showing up for yourself. Email me feedback, communication, questions. I'm here. Heart-centered steps. Step 3, allow all that is for me. What is growth mindset in this session tonight? We'll explore why is it so important for resiliency. Expanding on tools and creative strategy for ongoing self-regulation. We're going to review some. I love repetition. Repetition is key. Heart-centered steps. So tonight we'll introduce the regulate my energy, but focus on allow all that is for me. And developing a personal safety plan. So we warm up, ground, activate some activity that will lead to our activating material through the classroom pillars of creation, community, and self-presence. Let's play in the possibility. A play in the possibility. Remembering we are here to actively listen to understand, share from our experience. That's the key. That's the key. Knowing that we can hold two truths at one time. Humans are just a paradox. We exist in so many complex aspects of ourselves. And it's important to remember that we're being brave in the show up presence of our life. To be brave, meaning we are questioning, we are getting curious, we are creating more bridges and shifting our perspectives. We are evolving in our neuron connections. We are re-navigating and reframing, stepping into an unknown because why not? It might feel intuitively right. And with that, I will do my best to create a safe space to support confidentiality. And just remember that wherever we're at any given point is most likely the best we can do at that time. So self-care is an essential aspect of thriving, and also a little laughter and silliness helps us stay centered and neutral. So on a scale of squirrel, let's check in. How are you today? Hey. I relate to so many of these. I don't know about you. Ah! Oh, I think this is my favorite one. So, anywho, one thing I could do to make myself more present is to name this as fun. I'm naming this as fun. And yeah, I better put my feet on the floor. Breathing in, breathing out. Squirrel. Let's do a quick body scan like we are on this human Xerox machine. We're just going to start from where our feet are firmly placed on the floor. So if we are in a position where the feet do not connect with the floor, like excitedly enough, our brain responds to what we feed it. So we can use our imagination. And using our imagination, we can imagine our feet. We have feet. We can even imagine that. We have feet. We have legs. We have an aspect of us connected to the ground, and letting the roots below your feet to uncoil, and just like roots of trees, just growing at 100 times the pace. Fast forward, cords connecting to the deepest parts of the earth, for there is restoration. Remembering that how we care for our earth is a direct connection to how we can care for ourselves, and in the aspect of energy, all of this is important work and it matters. It matters. Feeling a little more electrified as the currents are running through us. We might even connect the crown of our heads like trees have crowns, we have crowns. Aspect of us connected through our crown to the sky, to all that is of creation, creation from that heart-centered space where we can acknowledge gratitude and just simply awareness. Like I feel filling in the blank. I feel we could be feeling like we dragged ourselves tonight to this call. We might feel that we are looking to become more focused on this call. We might look to give ourselves permission for the next moment in time on this call to really get curious. What is all that is? What could that possibly mean for me? Where in the potentiality of more could I want for? What am I clearing away so we can feel restoration? I'm in the process of moving into a new home. And while the previous owners left it in a really beautiful condition, I'm cleaning the walls, I'm wiping down the molding and the floor with the bases, and looking where I can consider new paint. And all of that is what we can do with ourselves. And some of that comes from using natural resources like Epsom salts and nature and natural materials close to our skin, delicious food that nourishes our bodies. These can be external, where we are nourishing and caring, and then the internal work of the flushing of the toxic patterns and reframing of the words that no longer serve us, way we describe what might be frustrating us, reframing our work to, our trip to work, or reframing our morning routine, aspecting of us, just opening up to the possibility of all that is possible. A lot of this requires imagination and also bringing in the physicality of our experience and allowing the five basic physical senses to collect data for us in moments when we feel we have moved into our thoughts, we're like daydreaming, we're thinking behind or ahead. Um, we're that's good. That's part of the creative process. And yet, when we can connect with the bigger aspect of us through our physical senses, the fun fact that Greeks viewed the physical senses as a window to the soul. Um, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, breathing method, activating material, mindfulness in our bodies. So let's get grounded. Take 5 deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth or nose. I find that at least my beginning few rounds of breathing are maybe with a sound even. With every exhalation, allow your body to settle more into where it's lying or sitting. Or if you're standing at work listening to me, imagining that your feet are just settling into the ground beneath you. Inhale. Make sure your exhalation is longer than your inhalation. One more. Mm, good. Look around the room and name four things you can see right now. You can say it out loud, like my timer, my daughter's sweatpants, a brush, a Barbie. Ah, so, but name three things you can touch right now, right? Just this is it. This is where I'm at. This is my present moment, bringing us into the now. It can be more than three things if you'd like, but start with three. Two things you can hear right now. So for me, it's the water going through the filter at the fish tank and the refrigerator humming. Maybe you can get so still that you feel your heartbeat right now. Always connecting your hand to your heart is a really nice telltale physical connection right away. It's like, ah, bless your heart. Really, no, everyone bless your heart. Name one thing you can smell right now. Hmm. And just receive that for what it is in the physicality of the space around us and where you find yourself now. Feeling grounded and open, ready to receive. Scanning the room again, breathing in, putting your hand on your heart, and I am where I am, and I am okay. I am okay. Maybe even list five things that make it okay. There's a sturdy roof over my head, a floor beneath me. Fill in the blank. Heart-centered steps. So we've worked on having the feeling and keeping even that place where emotions are a signal of the physicality in which my body is finding itself in. Excuse me. One of the most successful shifts I have found from moving to a low vibrational thought form space in the way I would conduct my relationships. There was a lot of guilt and anxiety and shame in the way I would speak to myself. That would then come out in my relationships with even my loved ones. There was fear. Um, and today I can say that I recognize fear like an aspect of me, like like it is a signal that I'm out of alignment. And sometimes it's like it's knocking at my door and I let it in and I give it a seat at my table and I'm like, "What's up, fear? Hey, what you scared of? Hey, I've got you. I've got you. Like, no matter what happens, I'm here. I'm right here. I'm with you, fear. Now that we name the fear is going to maybe, gets nestled in into our emotional space, that love space, that space that houses our emotional feelings, our sense of belonging, our identity, that house, right? And so when we're kind to our feelings, like we acknowledge them and name them, and we let them like be, we've learned our biological system can have a flush of the emotion that could last 90 seconds to 3.5 minutes, depending on how great and how it has impacted our body and our system, how it has hit us, and also what I'm telling it. For instance, I can continue to beat myself up for falling short of an expectation that I've created, or I can reach my thresholds and say, all right, well, even expectation, was that fair? Did I open it up to all that is possible? Did I try to do this all by myself without my team, my guides, my family, my friends? Did I ask for help? Where are the areas that I can show up for myself in this creation? So that's the exercise, the curiosity. That's showing up for ourselves on a like an accountability place. Okay, I'm having this feeling. This feeling is real. And then let me entertain some curiosity here. Let me first see, am I covering my basic needs? Like, am I hungry, thirsty? Maybe I refer to my personal safety plan. What can I do right now in this moment to just ground myself so that I can have a conversation with the powerful self of me and bring in all that is possible, all that is for me. So that's the step 3, and that's where we're at today. So let's talk about letting it go. Letting it go, another word might be surrender, trust. Through the activating material of the magic container with lid, we can experience a little lift of some of the weight that we might be carrying right now. We use our imagination from where we are sitting, we can imagine that we are holding a container with a lid. It can be any container, any size, but we want to be able to hold it. And the lid comes off. We can also see this magical container that is in shape and size, just manageable, projected in front of us, like 5 feet from us. Like our imagination is the projector of this experience. So we can see ourselves actually sitting, a projection of ourselves sitting where we are or where we are existing at this time, settled in this experiment. And having a projection of this experience, like a VR type of experience, could be interesting. In this moment, we are here, so you want to like build the existence that you see of yourself in the room where you are with this magical container. And we're filling the magical container with everything that is pulling us from our focus, um, to be open, to be on purpose, and to stay centered and neutral. The stuff that's coming up for us might be frustrating conversation we had with someone earlier, or perhaps an upcoming test or exam we might feel apprehensive about, or our cell phone might serve as a distraction. So we imagine putting our cell phone into this magical container for the time being. We walk it out, we close the lid to walk it out, side of the room. We can imagine opening the door, placing it outside, and we know it will be there for us when we return, and whatever we don't need and require can magically resolve itself, dissolve itself, transmute itself back into the collective, restored, and you're feeling a little clearer now that we have moved some items to be processed. We can categorize them as like a bucket system, and some we need to really address, and some, well, we can wait until the right moment, and some we can just let go of because life is full of variety. Sometimes we learn to let go of stuff that just we don't need anymore. So find that release. And it's funny because as I said, I was moving, so I'm purging. And these are conversations I'm having like, oh, sweatshirt from 3 years ago, do you bring me joy? Or making an intention to only move in items that light me up and bring me joy. So even asking through our actual clutter what we can get rid of, does it bring us joy? Can we just let it go? Um, from It's almost like practicing a form of abundance to know that what is meant for us will find its way back to us if in fact we let something go and then we find something even better down the road. So magic container with lid can be helpful in many arenas of our life, but also I like to do it before uh, meetings where I might be pitching an idea or a creative process, or before, like meetings with my accountant, so to clear my head, those kind of ideas. Okay, so let's hum and ha. Now that we've activated the curiosity aspect of our brain, now we get to utilize our natural voice, which actually is a wonderful self-regulation tool through sound. Popping on a favorite song, even just saying how you're feeling, but set it to music. I learned early on as a young parent or a parent to a young child that we start from an early age will retain information through music, and so much easier than the spoken word. So I would find myself giving musical directives like, it's time to go to the library now. Put our shoes on and we can go. um, and so now it's been 10 years and of practicing this work, and I can say that it is fun when they get older. And it even makes for funny, tough conversations, when we can not make fun of each other. Um, the value of loving each other through the tough, dense, icky, sticky moments, and knowing that when we get through this shoot too shall pass, we can even incorporate some silliness and not take life so seriously, and love each other again faster. And I think that comes um, through our ability to build resilience in all aspects of our lives, especially when it comes to our loved ones, because we love them the most. So things can become even more impassioned when talking about what's important to us. So having the ability to hum and ha our way through a breath cycle could be fun as we're activating a community building of all that is. I am diving us into some silliness so that we can rewire some aspects of seriousness and get into the openness of possibility. Using our natural voice, we breathe in through our nose and let out a nice hum. We'll do that 2 more times. Breathe in 2 more times. Breathe in with your nose. Hum. Again, feel the vibration on your lips. Hum. That vibration moving through your lips and into your nose, and you might feel a tickle, waking up your senses. Now we move on to ha. Breathe in. ha ha ha. You might even, yeah, ha 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 ha. Play around with breathing on the exhalation, breathing out with a ha. Breathe in. Ha 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 ha. I can hear the crunchiness in there. That might be just my throat chakra opening up. Breathe in. Ha 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 until you empty out your lung cavity. Ah. Fun little exercise. Just using your natural voice. Total body recalibration. Okay. Ooh, I think I just need to tap it out a little bit so you can just like take your hands and sort of tap. I'm here. Tap down your legs, on your belly, over your heart, your throat, your face. Gentle taps around your head, your neck, shoulders, back. Breath. So, this is a journal prompt that I'll introduce tonight. We will not spend time on this call doing it on this recording. We can entertain the idea of doing it after I put pause on the recording. I invite everyone to come back to this slide and do a little journal prompting this week. We're gathering every story that we're telling, and we talked about the biological response to an emotional experience hitting our bodies. Something as simple as when we were little, a play date might get canceled, and that was like a live or die situation. Over time, you understand people have schedules and schedules change. If we were to respond to something shifting in our lives, much like a toddler, because sometimes that's just how we respond, we that would be a story, and how long we would be having that life or death. It's life or death. So we're in the death, we're having a death over something we're telling ourselves. Um, that story can take root. That story can lead to a character building aspect of us. Like, I'm always late. Okay, let's be careful how we say that, because we will fall, the system will fall, like help us fall in line to that if that's the programming that we're putting into our computer, our home computer, our data collector. So it's important to isolate what stories we're telling ourselves. Um, and we can talk about, you can get very specific or you can be very generic. Try to identify the physical senses, the physical sensations. Like, when I think about this, I start to feel hot in my forehead. When I consider this situation, my stomach feels queasy. I feel like there's tons of butterflies, fluttering around in my gut when I tell the story like this. These physical sensations can be connectors for us, where we are, excuse me, repeating a pattern, or perhaps repeating a story in other aspects of our life situation. So when we can identify physical sensations that are connected to certain emotions, then when we can identify those physical senses as a connection to an emotion, that is just simply a signal for us to get online and do some breathe work and get into a position where our system feels calmer. Then we can approach whatever situation has triggered us with a mental aspect of us that feels clearer, more in control, connected to more possibility, and rooted in our self love. And for me, I will continue to ask myself and of others who I love, how can I do it better next time? You know, what am I learning from this and what's a better way for me? What's a better way for me to get through situations like this? Once we start connecting the dots, we become masters of our own patterns and systems that are running us. And yes, we can feel mad when we identify that. It's just how long do we want to stay mad at it, or are we going to shift into solution-oriented aspects of growth and evolution? Play around with this idea and let me know what comes up for you. Okay, we're getting close to the end here. This is one of my favorite intention counting tools um, to help us shift our perspective. Through the HeartMath Institute, which is a non-for-profit doing amazing scientific research on the power of the heart in so many aspects, I suggest you check it out. This is their resource, Shift and Shine. You can go to this link and listen to this exact meditation. So the shift and shine. Go ahead and open up your body where you are, uncross your legs, uncross your arms. Can you put your hand on your heart? That's right. It's right in the middle of your chest. Now we are going to shift to the heart. Do you know what shift means? It means to move or change, such as going from sad to happy or moving from one place to another. So let's try shifting. If you're driving, keep your hands on the wheel and get curious about what you can do safely to play along. Now, stretch your arms up to the sky and relax them down into a big hug across your chest. You just did a shift. Now uncross your arms. Do you want to try it again? Okay. Now stretch your arms up to the sky and then relax them down into a hug across your chest. You just did a shift. Now uncross your arms. Very good. Next, we are going to feel the warmth of the sun. Do you ever feel a warm feeling in your heart when you feel love or cared for someone? It's kind of like the warmth from the sun. Have you ever felt the warmth of the sun on your skin? Yes, I have. What does that feel like? Does it feel warm and cozy? When we feel love, appreciation, or care for someone or something special, it's like the warmth from the sun shining in our hearts. This focus on our heart-centered steps in appreciation is our first key to resetting our energy for more love and abundance. Begin by putting your attention around the area of your heart and using your imagination. Picture a large reset button resting there. It helps to put your hand over your heart area. So let's put your hand over your heart and right in the middle of your chest. Very good. Now let's pretend to breathe in and out of your heart. Take a big deep breath in. It's like filling up air with like a big balloon and then blow it out. Let's take 3 slow breaths. Reset. And now breathe out. Reset. Breathe in. And now breathe out. Reset. One more time. And breathe out. Very good. Now we can think of each breath like a fresh new start, and we can remember we are being breathed by a power far-reaching, infinite love. I think you're ready to move on to the last step. So think of someone or something special that makes you happy, like a loved one or a special place that you visit, like a park. Let's take a moment and feel that happy feeling in your heart. Now shine that feeling to someone or something special. Feel the warm feeling shining out of your heart like the rays of the warm sun. Did that feel good? I sent my warm feelings to my child and to my mom and my dad. Did you send your love to someone special? Well, thank you for sharing our hearts. You can even shine it to each other. For those listening tonight on the call live and those listening on the replay, I shine so much light to you right now. Ah, receive, receive. You might even reassess. I feel, and I want to feel my pajamas. And another idea to look back and think about where you were at the beginning of tonight's session and where you are now at the end of tonight's session. Continue to work on your personal safety plan. This quote, let everything be done for you by letting everything be done through you. We are a conduit, your heart work. Breathe, release, and invite in restoration. Invite in the discovery of what is underneath, like the buds in the garden are coming through the soil now. What went into all of that? This is such a beautiful time to consider the newness and where we're going in our lives. Because you're alive! You're alive! Okay. I love you all very much. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Blowing you a kiss. Mwah. Be well.